there's a term called generative art, like art that makes other people want to make art, right? And then you find out that there's a tribe out there. There's a lot of people that do this, and then there's whole industries that are comprised of makers and visionaries, and then you start to realize, or at least I came to this realization, that everything has art in it to some extent, like the apps on your phone, all that stuff. If it's not, and this I guess is a discussion between art and design. If something is not designed well, you won't use it. It doesn't function well, and art and design are very closely linked. I think I would say that really the fundamental difference, and this bears definition. There will be all kinds of definitions for it, but the way that I see that is that art does not necessarily have to be functional. It's just something that we experience and can take joy in. Whereas design has a much more clear focus on its utility, like what it's for, right?
Sure.
But ultimately, they're the same principles, the same driving principles behind them. And so once I kind of had that realization that, like, oh, this is art is in everything, so there must be a lot of people out there designing, creating, and so kind of bringing this full circle to the question, you get into these circles and into these industries, and then you start to hear similar stories, right? Like people who were inspired by something, like I was inspired by films and games. Really just had to do something with that, right? Like had to make something out of that. And then you get into those industries, and I'm not saying that it's all bad or all good, but there's certainly other aspects at play. It's business. There's that creativity and like creating that thing that inspires and that we enjoy. That sometimes plays second fiddle to risk aversion, like what we know is going to do well and sell. And this is where I'm getting around to, you hear the same things over and over and over. These artists who want to create and want to inspire and want to like reignite that spark or that magic that got them into it.
But real life kind of gets in the way of that.
Right. The reality of selling it. And so that's like I don't know, to me that seems like a lifelong negotiation.
Right.